Roadkill Garage, we're taking our crop duster project car, making it more streetable, and slowing it down. Or are we?
Well, I don't know, Freiberger. There's only one way to find out.
Watch the whole episode. That's how to find out. How much do I love my crop duster? I'm washing it in 40-degree weather. Man, this car's been on Roadkill and Roadkill Garage a bunch of times, and the last time you saw it, it was running 10s at the drag strip. But the problem is, it's a little bit too much of a race car. So goals in this episode? Make it streetable. We're gonna do stuff like change the rear gears and hopefully get some quieter exhaust on it. It's a remarkable level of adulting, I'll tell you that. There's a whole bunch of other little details I want to get to. I've only got 3 days to do it, so we'll see what happens. This thing is looking primo in its final moments as an unstreetable street machine. Okay, Steve, we're gonna make the crop duster slower and quieter.
You're trying to break my happiness, Freiberger, because I'm just happy to see it out of hibernation.
Yeah, me
Here
too.
it is in the shop after those spectacular burnouts for distance we did.
And the 1034 at 129 miles an hour.
It's good. And you're saying what?
It sat in the garage ever since the last time we had it at the track.
Right.
Because it's so loud, my neighbors complain, and it has such low gears, I can't drive it on the highway, and I'm clearly getting really old.
Well, I'll take 2 out of 3. You're still pretty good.
I think what I'm gonna request is that you fix the thing that actually stops me from using this car.
I know what that is.
The hood gap.
I know.
That ruins the entire car for me, and we tried to fix it once, and we failed, and I'm counting on you. So I'll do all the mechanical work if you just solve that.
If I fix the hood?
Yes.
I'll give it the best try I can. I mean, I didn't think
Not
that
good
piece
enough.
of rebar that we embedded.
Steve, there is no try. There is only do.
I will not fail you this time, Freiberger.
Thank you. Let me get the prop rod, and we'll pull the hood off.
So it does open.
Yeah, it opens now that we've, mangled it. Ready? Steve's gonna work on that hood. I'm gonna fiddle with some stuff on the engine. But first, I thought I should refresh you on the history of this car. It is a 1970 Plymouth Duster with some 71 parts on it. And it's called the Crop Duster because we rescued it from Steve's farm. Get it? Crop farm. In the beginning, it was on Roadkill, and it was literally buried in the back in weeds and everything. And Dulcich and Finnegan and I put a 440 in it. Ultimately, it ran very low 12s with that engine in the thing. And then, chiefly, Steve repainted the entire car from scratch. We've never had such a makeover on the show. And in fact, this is probably my single nicest car. Now, in conjunction with that, we built a 383 low-deck big block Chrysler and stroked it out to 440 cubic inches. One of the cool things is I have owned this engine block for 40 years. We put this thing together, it made 576 horsepower on the dyno. We took it to the drag strip, it ran 11 O's on Roadkill Garage. We put some nitrous on it, it went 1034 at 129 miles an hour. That was sort of the car's drag racing life. I don't want to put a roll bar in it. A roll bar is required if you go quicker than 1150 in the quarter mile. And so instead of pushing it more into the race car world, I'm gonna back it down into the street car world. Now let me show you what I'm gonna do to try and make the engine a little bit better. Here is the super jiffy carburetor that I just removed from the thing. And I know you're asking yourself, why would you do that? The thing is, this is a Holley XP series 850 double pumper. These are really designed for wide open throttle performance right out of the box. The calibration is not awesome for just driving the thing around. It'll actually cruise at like 10-to-1 air-fuel ratio, which is really rich and burbly and it'll foul the plugs. Thing is, you can fix that carburetor, but in this case, I'm not going to. I'm going to save this for other things, and I'm going to use this carburetor that I've had sitting around forever. As a matter of fact, I looked up this particular list number on the Holley website, and it's discontinued. You can get similar stuff. It is a 750 CFM double pumper, and it's from the HP line. I have found that these have a pretty good calibration right out of the box for driving, and so that's why I'm going to use it. The major disadvantage is, man, it is way heavier than the new aluminum carburetors. These are made of zinc, and man, it is definitely weighty. However, it is gold, and that is retro styled and will look perfect on the crop duster, and I suspect will be better for driving around with the highway gears that we're gonna put in the thing. Ah, I'm screwed. Here's something to look for that I actually failed to plan in advance. Later model Holley carburetors, or many of them, have a smaller float bowl inlet thread than the old school ones that take these type of inverted flare fitting in them. And the thread in the bowl is much bigger. See how the gold thing has giant thread and it's smaller on the black thing? This is new. This is old, so that's the problem. And so, unfortunately, I have to give up my, like, really spiffy, cool, stealth black fuel line and go to this old school red and blue AN thing that Steve had. The thing about these and the old school threads is they've got a smaller hex where you thread it into the bowl. The old ones have a 1-inch hex right here, and you always like run into the bowl and have to fight the wrench with those big ones. So I actually like the new style better, but this is what we're gonna have to do.
I'm going to grind out the rebar that we embedded in the hood as a previous attempt to fix it. Now, it's going to make a tremendous amount of Bondo dust, so I moved the whole hood and stand outside and my tools, and I'm going to get busy and try to cut that out.
I've got the carburetor ready to go back on, but I wanted to show you the nitrous system that we have on here, which I'm gonna leave on the car. Once again, I'm trying to make it not so much a race car, but it's still gotta run 1150, which is like the limit for adding a roll bar that I don't wanna do. And so if it ends up only running like, 1180, I can toot it with like a 50 shot and get there. The system is a Holley Sniper, which is kind of their low-end unit. It's a plate system, 1 spray bar for fuel, 1 for nitrous oxide. You can see that I've got a Nitrous Express adjustable fuel pressure regulator back here, and there's a Holley Blue pump in the back, and the electric pump is dedicated just for the nitrous system. The engine is fed by a mechanical fuel pump, which just works great for simplicity and reliability. So I'm gonna keep the nitrous on there with my new Holley 750 carb. There we go.
All right, I went through it with the cutoff wheel only from both sides, and it's pretty much broken loose. I think I can get the remaining just with a tiny bit of prying. Oh, there we go. A little bit of prying. And here is the offending piece of rebar, never to be grafted to the hood again.
Changing spark plugs on a big block Mopar in an A body like a Duster or a Dart is a nightmare. Why am I changing spark plugs? Well, because that last carburetor I had on here was running really rich, and after I let this thing sit like 6 months, the needles and seats in the carburetor were stuck, and therefore fuel was glugging into the engine when I fired it up to bring it here, which is why it needs new spark plugs and an oil change. Wow, does that spark plug hate me. Steve, the hose trick, please. Steve was prepared with the hose trick. So what you do is you slip the hose over the porcelain of the spark plug, and then it's more grippy and will come out. Watch this.
It's like having a super short extension.
And there's the spark plug. Wow, look how bad that plug is.
Let me look.
It smells like gas.
Wow, that thing's completely coated in gasoline.
I wonder how that would happen.
Well, you know, once they get rid of gasoline, you won't have this problem.
EVs, you'll never have foul plugs again. All right, let's see how the new carburetor runs. Can you watch for leaks? I don't trust that fuel line that much.
Okay. More gas.
Why is it doing that? Cover it. That shouldn't happen.
No. It needed more gas.
Okay, that'll warm up and work. If it was 40 degrees outside earlier, it's 40 degrees inside now. So that's part of that problem.
It's cold.
Yeah. It's a very exhausting day for the crop duster. It's 32 degrees outside and 40 in the shop, and I'm ready to put on mufflers and everything. I can't tell you how much I have agonized over this decision. Right now, the thing has 3-inch exhaust with a crossover pipe with a couple of cherry bombs on it about this long. A cherry bomb is a muffler you can see straight through. There's no restriction in them almost at all, and as a result, they are loud. The car sounds wicked, don't get me wrong, but on the freeway you gotta shout at each other to be heard, and it's just too much. So I had to pick exhaust. I went to the Engine Masters show that Steve and I do on Motor Trend, and we've done a lot of testing on 2.5 versus 3-inch exhaust. We've also tested all kinds of mufflers, and what I came up with is this right here, which is a Summit welded turbo muffler. It's the one that made the most power in our testing, probably because you can see through it. You can see just a little bit, and that means that the exhaust has a path of zero restriction in there, even though they should be quieter than the cherry bombs. They are 3 inches in, 3 inches out. One thing you need to watch for on a 3-inch muffler is many of them neck down to 2.5 inside. So that's what I picked there. The other thing that we found out on Engine Masters is that exhaust cutouts work. They actually make power. You have to put them right up against the collector of the header, because if you put them back by the muffler, they don't really make power. But then I can take it to the drag strip and actually be somebody and be loud once again. I didn't get electric or vacuum cutouts. I got the regular old school kind with the caps on them. Now, the other thing I should mention about the 3-inch exhaust system that I chose is that this thing makes 575 horsepower. That's kind of the limit at which you want to start going with a 3-inch. This is a 3-inch collector extension. The header bolts right here. The real place that you lose power by adding a 2.5-inch exhaust to a 3-inch collector is the neck down right here. That seems to be where there's a lot of interruption to flow and it kills power. And that's part of the reason I went with 3. It's also going to be better because I'm going to try and ask the muffler shop to go all the way out the back and dump at the rear bumper, and that tends to make a car quieter than dumps the head of the rear axle. I hope I nailed it on this thing. I hope it's not the same loudness when it comes back, and I hope it doesn't kill a bunch of power. We know the car is going to be heavier. The Duster's on the trailer. Meanwhile, I think we're going to go grab that gear set off the shelf, and the next thing that you're going to see is installing the so-called lunchbox locker. Next thing I'm doing is changing to a higher rear gear ratio. The car has 4 10s in it now, and I'm gonna go to a 323. The whole goal is to reduce engine RPM at a highway cruise speed of, say, like 75 miles an hour. A lot of people have asked me, why don't you just put an overdrive in it? The answer, money. So Steve generously gave me this 323 open center section for the Mopar 8 3/4 rear end. And also on the note of expense, I thought to myself, I gotta have at least both tires on fire in a burnout, right? I need limited slip. I looked up the cheapest way to get that done, and it was the Lockrite, the so-called lunchbox locker. For most of these lock-right rear ends, they just replace the spider gears and you can take it apart without having to disassemble the differential. Unfortunately, with the 8 3/4, that appears not to be true. I cannot get this center pin out without removing the ring gear, which means I have to take the whole thing out. What these things do is they allow one wheel to turn faster than the ring gear so you can go around corners smoothly, but neither wheel can ever turn slower than the ring gear, so you always have 2 tire burnouts. This thing was about $500, and any other solution that I could find that involved a good true track and bearings and everything else was closer to $1,000. So that's why I'm doing it cheap. So let me rip this thing apart. Thank you. Now the ring gear's gonna come off. Wow, that was easy. Now I've bashed the stock stuff all apart, and this doohickey is gonna replace where the original side gear was. Now I have to put in what they call the driver, which will mesh right here. That reminds me I need to grease that baby up, and then I'll drop them into the case. So you can see right here where the center pin goes through them. The big deal is that there's these shear pins here and springs that need to go behind them, and you have to assemble all that once you get it in the case. So that's a bit of a trick, but here we go. There, it's in, okay. It took 2 of us to get those springs in, but now it's all assembled. We had put the center pin in. Now we just have to smack this roll pin through there, and I'll put the ring gear back on and slap it back in the case, and we'll have a locker. Okay, now we have to adjust the thing side to side so that it's properly engaged with the pinion gear. Okay, that's all we're gonna do, huh? I know. More Roadkill boondoggle. We sent this thing off to the muffler shop and found out that the guy refused to install exhaust cutouts. Can you believe it?
I know, and there were the bolt-on cutouts too. That was track
ridiculous.
Only. Yeah.
So we found another guy who refuses to acknowledge the draconian laws of California, but he can't get it done until tomorrow. And so the car's back here. But as soon as it arrived here, I moved it outside. It was dead cold, and I removed the radiator cap, and it had pressure, and it went and like put a diaper load of goo all over the thing right here. And I think it has a blown head gasket or a cracked block or something.
I hope not. I don't think so.
No.
How can we possibly figure that out, David? Do you have any ideas?
We got a doohickey here that I've never heard of in my entire life. It is some kind of gas engine combustion leak tester that you shove in here and go, and it gets fluid in it, and somehow it tells you if you have a head gasket leak. Have you ever even seen this?
No, I have a question for you, too.
What?
If you had to rate the possibility of that actually working to solve our problem from 1 to 10, where would you be?
This is a 2.
Yeah, that's just being generous, in my opinion.
No way.
David, start that engine.
All right.
You look like a scientist, Freiberger.
With my beaker.
That's all you need?
Yes.
Wow, they give you a lot of sauce, don't they?
Yeah. Okay. All right, what are the odds? Oh, it already turned color.
Is that good or bad?
Bad. Yeah, we're screwed. The whole thing here is that this fluid, if it stays blue, there's no combustion gases in the radiator. If it turns gold like it already has, then it measures exhaust gas in the radiator, or combustion gases. All right, see? That's bad. So apparently we've got combustion gases in the radiator, which means blown head gasket or something of that ilk.
Or a crack
Or a crack block. Yeah, something like that.
Something bad.
Unbelievable. We spent so much time and energy on this thing.
Yeah, I know. It's very upsetting, to say the least.
Blew something out with nitrous at the track last time we went.
It's the last time we ran it was the nitrous passes at the track.
I'm not going to K-seal it. We got to take it apart and find out what's wrong.
Okay, well, that means the engine has to come out.
I'm aware.
What that is, to me, is devastating.
We've been trying to make the car more streetable with different gears, exhaust, fixing that hood that was really bothering me, and next thing you know, we're pretty sure this thing blew a head gasket. We're gonna try and investigate that. But we had some time, and so I sent it to the exhaust shop anyway, and now it's got 3-inch exhaust all the way out.
Almost to the back.
Almost to the back. And I failed because I just got the wrong mufflers, and it's still really loud.
It's loud. I mean, some people really like it loud, though.
It's quieter, but it's still loud. You know what it was? I spent at least an hour trying to decide on mufflers based on the power that I saw in old Engine Masters episodes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't live with myself for killing like 30 horsepower. And so this is what I got, and I'm paying the price. It's loud. I'll probably get used to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, I guess I need to fire up the exhaust so that you can hear it. And of course, I'll make it loud and violent, and accelerating.
Oh, it's actually pretty quiet. That's not that bad.
We're still troubleshooting. Just now I had all the spark plugs out of it, and one of the things we did is spin the engine with the starter just to see if we could see any water spraying out of any of the cylinders, and that was a 0. So the other thing I did was flush all the water out of the radiator, tried to get some out of the block so that it was nice, fresh water. Our theory is maybe it had some goop in it for some reason that was false triggering the blue sauce. So we're gonna retest and see what happens with fresh water. Filling fluid up to that level. All right, Steve, fire it up. Not turning yellow like it did before. Last time we did it, it turned yellow immediately, indicating a bad head gasket. This time, it's still blue. Maybe that goo that was in the radiator before was false triggering it. Maybe it hit the tip of the tool here. I don't know. But right now it's saying we're good. The spark plug said we're good. Listening to leaks said that we're good. The fact that it doesn't overheat said we were good. At this point, that's the only liar. That was a giant waste of time all day long, Steve.
Yeah, I figured it was okay.
However, look, that is clearly a different color.
It's not yellow.
It's fine. We've spent most of the day, if not all of the day, fighting this problem. I guess better safe than sorry. I guess I'm thrilled that we're not removing the engine, but we've lost a day of making the Duster more streetable, which was my goal for the entire episode. So, I'm gonna start working on the rear gears. Steve claimed he was gonna take the rear end apart for me, but then I wasted all of his time making him help me with the locker installation. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip this apart, and we'll get those 323s and locker installed. There we go. This rear end was actually mooched from Dulcich. It came out of the famous CarCraft Orange Duster. I had built this whole thing when I was the editor of CarCraft magazine, probably '98, and then sold him the car, and then stole the rear end back from him when he put the crop duster together. What that means is when I remove this 410 unit out, I will give it back to Steve. Now that does not want to come off. There we go. Here's how this will go. Calipers off, rotor off, axle out. There we go. And then we can take the center section out, and then it's just reverse of the procedure. I forgot to mention you also have to take the drive shaft out. That broke the brick.
Should I keep on pumping or let it down?
I'd say keep pumping. Stop, stop, oh. Wow, I thought I was gonna die.
Did it break loose?
Yes.
Oh, good.
But you picked the whole car up and it moved over. I thought it was falling on me.
That's no good when that happens. Don't hurt yourself.
I know. Okay, push it towards me to get it out. Okay, lower.
Coming down.
Okay, can you pull it? Yeah. There you go. Out. We got the old center section out with the 410s in it. I'm gonna clean up the surface here, throw a gasket on, and then we'll be putting the 323s in.
I was really wanting to fix the crop duster hood for Freiberger, and the problem is it sags in the middle. We took the rebar out, so for now it's just gonna go back on the way it was.
We're ready to do the swap now. You can see that our old unit has the clutch type posi that I call the unsure grip, and this one's got our new locker installed. Here's a tech tip real fast to figure out what your gear ratios are. First of all, if you look at this ring gear, it's really thick, and that's on our 410 unit, and on the highway gears, it's much thinner. So that's a good way to do it at a glance. If you want to be more scientific about it, count the number of teeth on your ring gear and divide it by the number of teeth on your pinion gear, and that'll give you your ratio. Steve, ready to sling it under there?
Yep.
Okay. You're clear.
So far I'm liking it, Freiberger.
Me too. It's swinging perfectly. Whoa!
Whoa.
That was scary.
Yeah.
I think I can get...
It's both lined up perfectly.
Stop. Okay, hold on. Don't move anything. Let me find my safety nut. Okay. Safety nut on. When you let it down, it's going to swing right in.
Coming down?
Yep. Yeah, swinging in perfectly. There, see that?
Aha! Freiberger, you're a genius.
I'm going back to the Krager SS wheels. This is what was on the car when it was originally built as a beater, and it just had that mean stance with them, and I wanted to go back to it. The wheels that you've seen on the car in this episode are a centerline auto drag, and they're spun aluminum. They're super light for drag racing, and I'll hang on to them for that. These are really heavy, but I want to see if they make a difference at the track because they just look so cool. Here's the combination here. This wheel is a 15x8. The back spacing is 4 1/8 inches. The tire is an M&H Racemaster radial, and it's a 275/60/15. Now, I'm going to give you axle width specs so that if you have a Duster, you can figure this out for yourself. The overall width of my rear end is 58 inches, and we've got the wheel lip rolled pretty heavily. So now if you've got a Duster, you can figure out how to have the crop duster stance. All right, let's install it.
Dropper.
Ooh, did you see the technique?
Yes.
I pulled it out right before the shocks let it all the way down. That was
Freiberger's
art.
a genius
Oh,
at
man,
work.
it was great. Are you ready to go for the first drive?
Yeah.
I'm not putting a hood on. Let's drive.
Okay. It's quieter.
Oh, it's way quieter for sure. Maybe I'll get used to it. I wanted it way quieter when it came back from the exhaust shop, but...
I mean, it's still rowdy, but it's not like deafening like it used to be.
Yeah. All right, I hope it's good with the 323s. That's my biggest concern, honestly, is that I just turned it into a dog.
Well, I've overcome my biggest concern already.
Which is what?
Those gears howling like...
I was about to say that!
Really?
I should have just said it out loud. It would have been another mind meld moment.
You would have cut me off at the pass.
Yeah. Third gear. Come on. There. Okay, 2,500 RPM is 60.
Oh, really? I would have guessed 55, so we're moving,
Yeah.
all right.
Let's see, 3,000?
3,500 is like 75 with 23s, I think.
That's 3,065. So you know what the amazing thing is? We used to consider these highway gears, and now it seems like it's tacking out, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they do.
I haven't even got the fan on, and it's at 150. This thing doesn't have a blown head gasket. It's not getting hot.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I want to find out if it's fast.
How would you do that?
Yeah, it is.
Still pretty bad.
It boogies.
Yeah, I felt it in my stomach.
Uh-oh.
What?
You
That's
see that?
oil. I
Is
can
it?
smell it, yeah.
I smell the oil, too.
Coming out of the breather.
Is that, okay, then we're good. Yeah, this thing still boogies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It kind of short shifted on that first run, too.
Yeah, it does. I've got the adjustment right on that, I think.
Yeah.
One thing about high gears is that they really exacerbate a loose torque converter.
Yeah.
But this doesn't seem that bad.
Well, the car is pretty light, too.
Yeah. You think it still does it? Think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do that anymore.
What, you mean the quarter-mile burnouts?
Yeah,
No, probably not. The car's heavier, more traction.
less power. All the reasons why the audience is going, why did you do that?
Less gear and smaller carburetor.
Yeah,
I don't know, the real tail of the tape would be to see what it ET's at.
I think that's the goal.
Yeah?
Take it to the drag strip. Okay, that's
Oh,
still
that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, that time I got the technique down.
Yeah, you did.
That was distance. But did you notice that it's squirrelier?
Yeah.
Remember, it used to just go in a straight line forever. I think that's maybe because the locker? I can't guess.
I don't know.
All right, I don't feel bad about the burnout capability being compromised. It's still pretty wicked.
The Duster is a good car.
It's great. Near perfection. It did not lose its burnout prowess.
No, it was excellent.
Yeah, it still smolders the tires. It'll smoke them from a roll. It's fast from a stab. It downshifts and spins the tires from like 30. It didn't overheat at all. The breathers drip oil on the headers, which we used to be oblivious to with a hood. So the blown head gasket situation has been disproved. There's no milkshake on the dipstick, and it didn't overheat even a little bit.
Yeah, who would have thunk it?
All that's left is to find out how much we slowed it down at the drag strip. We've been wrenching on it all week. Finally, we're here at Famoso Drag Strip to test this thing. What all have we done to slow it down? Let me count the ways.
Well, okay, less gear, more exhaust.
Smaller carburetor, heavier wheels. You know what the thing is about the wheels is that it's not just straight weight that hurts you, it's also that the car has to accelerate that weight rotationally, so it's like two wrongs.
All that stuff's gonna cost you, I'd say maybe even as much as 3 or 4 tenths.
But that's perfect, because all I want to do is 1150, and I've got a perfectly streetable car, and every goal for the crop duster will have been met.
No, I'm with you, man, and you could drive this thing on a road trip without blowing your eardrums out or blowing up the motor from too many RPM.
Yeah, that's the plan, but now we're ready to hit the track. For the first time in history, I'm at the track with the goal of going slower. Let's go over the ET history of this car. The first time at the track, it went 1103. Then we were just dying because it wasn't in the 10s. 1103 is so close. So we thought we would put a looser torque converter in it to make it quicker. We came back to the track, and unfortunately, our new converter was actually tighter. The best ET we had that day was 1122, until we added 150 horsepower shot of nitrous oxide, and that made the thing go 1034 at 129 miles an hour. Last time it's ever gonna do that. So today, what we're hoping for is that 11.50 number, so that it is legal with no roll bars. See, the NHRA rule is that if you're 1149 and quicker, you need to have a roll bar in the car. I gotta be honest, I think it's still gonna be too quick for that, but just barely. And if it's slower and runs 1160, I'm happy with that too. The only thing I need to do before we go down the track is change the squirter in the carburetor, or accelerator pump discharge nozzle. Here's why this is a thing. When you're cruising along at low RPM, there's fairly low airspeed through the carburetor, and so when you snap it to wide open throttle, the air's not moving fast enough for the booster to pull enough fuel to let the thing accelerate. And so you physically squirt a bunch of gas into the thing with the accelerator pump discharge nozzle. This one is a number 31 from our Holley carburetor. I'm going to install a number 35, which is a bigger hole, which will squirt more fuel. Here we go. Let's rock. Okay.
Looking at that burnout, it's obvious the car still makes pretty good torque. I'm not sure what kind of ET it's going to run. It has basically a daily driver gear 323.
Okay, all signs are good. You know, I said I thought it would still go 11s, but I'm bracing myself to still be happy if it goes 12s.
Here we go, rolling up to the starting line.
Hope it hooks on drag radials.
All right, it hooked up really good. It looks like it's booging.
It's too lean.
1144 to 118, so we're talking about right on the freaking money. I don't know, it's time to go home. It did what it needed to do.
I need to put some more jet in it. It was 13.5 to 1 all the way down the track.
Sounded good, ran clean. The crop duster does what it's supposed to do.
Looking good, still charging, still have oil pressure. Nice and cool at 150 degrees. It's a pretty nice day out. I think it's about 65 degrees, 70, something like that. Okay, does the sign say 11 something? Yes, it does. Steve's standing right in the middle of the street. That's because he doesn't want me to pass him. Sometimes I just pass him. And bonk. You didn't want me to drive past you this time, huh?
All right, let's go.
Let's see.
Load her up.
1144 with a 4 at 118. The 60-foot is 166. It used to run 158. So we can make this better, honestly, because it was at 13.5 to 1 all the way down the track.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I should have gotten out of it. It needs more jet in it. I don't know if fatter will make it slower, but yeah, we're already meeting our goals. I just need to slow the thing down a little bit.
It's right on the money.
Can we put some jet in it and go again just for grins?
All right.
We decided that we're going to take the jets and increase them on the secondary side of the carburetor because it drives pretty well on the primary side.
I think it's going to pick up.
Probably. That's pretty lean. And if I don't short shift it.
And if you give it a little hotter of a launch.
Yeah. Done. I can't wait to go again. We should be at least safer, if not quicker. And by safer, I mean the richer engine won't hurt itself as much. It won't detonate, it won't go lean, won't burn a piston. It'll be what it needs to be.
Got some heat in them.
All right, it starts pushing at about 2,600 RPM. So that's all I'm gonna get on the line. I'm gonna go to 25.
1144 on the first pass, pass number 2. Sounds pretty good. 1137 and 119.
We'll see if it had a little more mile an hour. I definitely shifted higher that time. So what we did that time was a 1,659 60 foot. We went to the 8th mile at 727, 95 miles an hour. The quarter mile, 1137 with a 9 at 119. So we went a little quicker and picked up just a fraction of a mile an hour. 119 is not bad. I mean,
it's actually really good. What did the air fuel ratio gauge show?
13.2.
Oh, really?
It actually wants a little more jet.
Yeah, wow, that only changed 0.3.
Right. It was directionally correct, but the question is, you don't put another 5 in the back. You got to start going to air bleeds or go to the front.
Right.
I don't have air bleeds, so what do I do?
The carburetor needs to be super tuned, basically,
It does.
to really get it super dialed in.
Do you want to hack tune it for now? Put about 3 in the front and see how it works?
Like it.
You like what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go do one more jet change, and then we'll probably be done until we're not. We tuned the carburetor not the elegant way, kind of ham-fisted way, but it's definitely going to be richer going down the track. It won't drive as well at part throttle, but all we care about right now is going quicker. One more run. Famous last words. Okay, here we go. And the O2 meter gave me an error, so I have no idea what it was.
1131 and 119. So it's still running 119. That tells me we didn't really pick up power, but it launched better.
All the vitals still looking good. Absolute victory. The car is everything that I wanted it to be since the beginning.
I know, it exceeded my expectations too, because I actually expected it to be quite a bit slower with the street mods and the added weight and all that, but boom.
A tenth.
Yeah.
That's it. As a matter of fact, let's go through the numbers. I love to document this, so later on I can watch the episode and remember it because I'll lose this slip roughly on the way to lunch. Our best 60 foot today was 1.636. We'd run 158 before with the 410 gears.
Well, that's expected. Yeah. I mean, the gear change is going to really affect you a lot right out of the hole.
The 8th mile, 721 with a 4, 96 miles an hour, and the quarter mile, 1131 with a 9 at 119.25. And at this point, you can drive this thing anywhere at any time on regular gas.
No, it's the actual unicorn, the street strip car, fast on the track and completely streetable on 91 octane.
And you and I did 100% of it, mostly you. Yep.
Well, it's a good car.
Yep.
Enjoy
boom,
it, bro.
Boom,
Bam!
boom. Once again, massive victory on
Roadkill Garage.
So good.
Yeah, it is.